Okay, guys, thank you so much for jumping on this morning. And I always, even though I'm not like a real sciencey nerd like person, Andrea is really not like that either. But I actually love this part of the business because I'm one of those that like I get the product and I go Google every ingredient and I look at it and what is this going to do for me and what is that going to do for me. So I really love being able to have someone like Andrea just really break it down in just simple language for us to all understand on what these products do. Because just like we're talking about Unwind, I feel like a lot of people focus on just one thing, like just sleep. And there's so much more. And Andrea did a talk on that um, last or week before last about Unwind and all the things that it can do. So same thing with Xanthamax is there's so many things, we kind of focus on, well, it, helps with you producing oxytocin. But there's just so much more. And before we get started, we're not making any medical claims um, that this can't treat, cure, mitigate any disease. We're just going to talk about the ingredients that are in Xanthamax and some of the benefits of those ingredients. So, Andrea is a nurse practitioner. She is also in the process of getting her doctorate in holistic medicine. Is that correct?
That's correct. Yep. And nutrition. So
Okay.
holistic medicine and nutrition. So yeah.
So a lot of times I know you guys, I saw Kelly post one day that she fired her doctors because they weren't in line with, her goals and the way that she thinks. And so sometimes I feel like, unless you're coming from a holistic background, that prescriptions seem to be the answer when in fact there are lots of things out there that are natural that could help us with many things. So Andrea, if you will, I'm going to mute myself and you just tell us all your amazing knowledge about Zen.
Well, I will still try. So at any time, jump in, and feel free to jump in and add commentary, whatever. Because I think that's the beautiful thing about this is we each have our own product experiences, and that's what I love about this is we can share stories, right? And so like Lori said, we can't share medical things, but what I like to do is I like to talk about the ingredients because there's so much research about the ingredients that we add into these products. And we have Kevin Thomas he's a genius. I mean, that's what he is. He's just absolutely a genius. And when he formulates these products, I mean, there is beyond so much thought that goes into these products. And he absolutely knows what he's doing when he adds every little minute amount of each ingredient into these products. And what I like about Xanthamax, it is so simple, yet it is probably, in my opinion, one of the most powerful products that we have. And that is really why it is by far our number one seller. And I am so excited that that is what they're offering for our newly revealed Black Friday special. And I'll let Lori talk a little bit more about that when we get done talking about the ingredients in this. But it's very simple because it's really two main ingredients. And it's xanthohumol, which is by far the world's most powerful antioxidant. And we're going to talk a little bit about that. And it is also turmeric, and that is by far a superfood. And it's been used, both of these two ingredients have been used for hundreds and hundreds of years in ancient medicine. It's been researched, they've been studied, and the benefits to these two ingredients are so much more than just producing and correcting our body's own oxytocin. So, if you don't already know this, it's oxytocin helps with our happy hormone. Okay, so that's what gives us the smiles on our face, and God knows that in the world that we live in today, we can all use a little bit more happy, right? So it also is what helps with our energy, and it's that sustained energy. It's not like if you take a 5-hour energy or an energy drink, you get a couple hours worth of energy and then you crash. It's that nice, long, sustained energy that lasts you throughout the day. So let's talk a little bit about xanthohumol. That comes from the hops plant. And if you don't know, that the hops plant is what has long been in beer. Okay. So, but you would have to drink, I think I've heard Kevin say hundreds of beers to get the amount of xanthohumol that is in one little capsule of Xanthamax. But it's long been it's long been used as a phytoceutical for the many properties, and it's been used to treat for many years insomnia, stress, anxiety. In ancient medicine, that's what they used to give people that would come to ancient medicine, healers. If somebody said, they couldn't sleep or they had anxiety or stress, that's what they would give people, because it comes from the hops plant. So they would give them a part of the hops plant to help treat those things. And like Lori said, we're not making medical claims, but these are, like, you can find research studies on these ingredients. And so I'm going to speak to those research studies of this specific ingredient and the specific ingredient turmeric. But there's been a lot of interest as of late and a lot of studies as of late to xanthohumol as it pertains to other properties and how it is helping with other conditions. So like I said, I'm not talking about Xanthamax, I'm talking about xanthohumol, which is an ingredient in the product. So a lot of studies are being done with anti-cancer benefits, cardiovascular protection of xanthohumol. It definitely has a huge anti-inflammatory property. So I've spoken with all of the products I've done. This is my third Wellness Wednesday that I've done. Both of the ones that I've done, one on Unwind and one on the Max Plus, all of our products have anti-inflammatory benefits to them. This is no exception. All of our products have anti-inflammatory benefits to them, but this by far is the most powerful anti-inflammatory product that we have. All disease processes start by one way, shape, or form, and it's by the inflammatory cascade. So if you have inflammation in your body, that's the setup for disaster. So you don't want to have inflammation in your body, and that is set up by a host of things, whether it's your dietary indiscretions, whether it's sugar, carbohydrates, whatever, whether it's you're working out too much and you've injured your body, whether it's stress. And when I've talked about stress before, I talk about physical stress, I talk about mental stress, I talk about not sleeping well, cortisol. We've talked a lot about cortisol, especially with Unwind, and how that can help lower your cortisol levels. But if your cortisol levels are too high because of stress or not sleeping enough, whatever, that starts the huge inflammatory cascade, and that starts a host of issues. And if you haven't watched that Facebook Live, which is posted in all of our customer groups, it's posted on my personal Facebook page, I really encourage you to go watch that, because I talk a lot about inflammation and what that can do to your body. I'm not going to go into all of that over again, but inflammation is the root of all evil in all disease processes. So this product helps to eliminate an inflammation, or at least severely reduce inflammation. Xanthohumol helps with anti-obesity. So this is part of the product. I mean, all of our products, but this is one of the number one ways to help with the fight of the belly of the bulge or the bulge of the belly. But it really does help with obesity. It helps with antioxidation in your body. Oxidation in your body is, I kind of think of a piece of metal laying out in the elements and how it gets rust on it. When there's oxidation in our body, it's kind of like our cells getting rust all over our body. or rust on our cells. That's bad, right? We don't want a piece of metal that we're going to use later for whatever kind of project to have rust all over it, right? We don't want our cells to have rust or oxidation on them. So that's kind of, this is a property to help prevent that, to help prevent our cells from getting damage on them. It has huge, and this is so pertinent, like I said, no medical claims, but very, very pertinent in the time we're living in, huge antiviral, antifungal, and antibacterial properties. Definitely antiviral. I'm not going to say the word, but we're living in a pandemic. Whatever you can do to boost your immune system right now is huge. This is huge in boosting your immunity, especially your antiviral immunity. We're also coming up on cold and flu season. And this is definitely something that is very, very important to be taking. I always take two, especially in the winter months, or if I've been around somebody that's been ill or not feeling well. There's days like maybe, I've worked out extra hard in the gym, what have, or I've maxed out on my weights, and I'll take, one in the morning, and then I'll take one later at night. And I don't get that soreness because it helps with the anti-inflammatory properties. Something that I love because I'm 43. It helps with menopausal symptoms. It helps with those hot flashes, to not experience those hot flashes. And as a woman that's getting older, it helps with osteoporosis and helps with the prevention of osteoporosis. So lots and lots and lots of benefits with that, the xanthohumol. And we're going to talk a lot about, other studies here that talk about not only, reduction in body weight, but also it's been proven in many studies. I was just reading a study last night about this, and I talked about in the last week's Wellness Wednesday about insulin resistance, and how when your insulin goes up and you're not getting that insulin into the cell and utilizing that cell, your insulin just isn't good anymore. And so your body keeps producing more and more and more and more and more. And that's how you get that bigger belly as you get older, because you're storing more and more fat, because your insulin just isn't pushing that nutrients in the cell. So it has no other option other than to store your food as fat. But it helps to reduce insulin resistance. It's been proven, amazing studies with xanthohumol. It's been proven to lower lipids in the bloodstream. So it's been given strictly for lowering lipids in the bloodstream, also reducing triglycerides, which is very, very, very important. Some people, high triglycerides run in my family. I mean, I've had people in my family in their 20s and 30s that aren't drinkers. They eat healthy. They don't eat sugar. They don't drink, but they have triglycerides in the 300s and 400s. And I'm like, here's a bottle. Try this. You need to be on xanthohumol. And it's just been absolutely amazing. It's so much better than being on other medications, which have so many other side effects to them.
Can she bathe in it?
Can she bathe in it? Yes. But what I love on the bottle is it says take 1 to 3 tablets. So, I always recommend people start with 1, but you can titrate up as needed. So a lot of people are under dosing themselves, but you can take up to 3 tablets daily. So I always tell people to take 1 when they start out and see, how your body responds to it, but definitely titrate up. I know a lot of people that take 2 or 3 a day.
Yeah, I take
and
2 every day.
Yeah.
And one thing I've noticed too is, or we're all women on here, but other people watch it, but like used to, before my period, I would be like really bad PMS. And on my period, I would have really bad periods. And I've noticed since I started using this that I literally have to have an app on my phone to know when my period is coming, because I just don't feel that anymore. I don't have that mood swing. I don't have I guess, the inflammation to cause the aches and pains that go along with that. So just that in itself has been literally life changing for me. Just that one thing.
Hmm. One of the interesting things, the belly bloat that goes along with that, a lot of women are telling me they don't get that
Yeah.
anymore. And I have women in there, and maybe you can speak to this, Lori, but I don't know, or if there's any other women on here that can maybe, give a testimony here in a little bit when we're done talking about this. But um, perimenopausal or postmenopausal women oftentimes have zero luck in losing weight. And I have so many customers, and even customers that have turned promoters, that is truly how they became believers in this product. Was they truly started taking it because they're like, I've tried everything from Jenny Craig to Weight Watchers to everything except for liposuction, to lose weight after menopause or during menopause. And they've literally just kept gaining year after year after year after year as they started going through menopause. And literally within the first month of taking these products, they were like, this is the only thing that has worked for me. And that's because it's adjusted or regulated their underlying hormonal imbalances that oftentimes go along with menopause. I mean, our hormones are so out of whack just in general, men and women, and when I talk about menopause, there's a thing such as mandropause too. Men go through the equivalent of menopause. I don't know why they call it menopause for women. I mean, men should be menopause, right? But
Yeah.
it's mandropause for men. And so it helps to even out that hormonal fluctuation. And that's why we get the things such as hot flashes and night sweats, and we get the moodiness and the irregularities of our menses when we're going through that change in our body. That's why that happens, is because our hormones are so in influx. And so it just helps to even that out, so that transition period in our life doesn't have to be intolerable. And as men and women, we just think that's the rite of passage as we get older, but you don't have to have those symptoms. Those symptoms aren't necessary to go through. It's not something that you have to go through, like labor pains. You don't have to have that in order to have a child. You don't have to go through that in order to get through menopause or mandropause. You don't have to suffer through those symptoms. They're not necessary, so to speak. So but the other thing, talking about aging, is xanthohumol has been shown to actually reverse the signs of aging. I love that because I want to age gracefully. I don't want to get older. And if you look back through my pictures on Facebook, I have had so many comments on people that are like, they look at pictures. I look at when my sons, because I would always take pictures with my sons, like after their football games and stuff like that. Not only have I lost 127 pounds on these products, but I look so much younger. And yes, of course, when you lose weight, that does make you look younger, but you have saggy skin and, after you lose weight. But my face, I just look so much younger in my face. And that's what I love about these products. They're like, what's your skincare regimen? What's your this? What's your that? Okay, yes, I use Timeless. Yes, I use the mud mask, but I also use these products, the anti-inflammatory products. I use, and they have, the xanthohumol has anti-aging properties to it. And that's what I love so much about it. Who doesn't want to look younger? We don't have to age and look older as we get older. We can look younger and stop the aging process. So I love that. The other thing I really want to talk today, there's two really important properties of xanthohumol, which I kind of saved the best for last. the digestive benefits of xanthohumol go far and beyond what we can even comprehend. Health starts in the gut. This is what my dissertation, my thesis is on. Your gut is your second brain. If your gut isn't healthy, I don't care how many hours you spend in the gym, I don't care what you eat, you're not going to be healthy. Okay, your health isn't going to improve if you don't have a healthy gut. 70% of the serotonin in your body is manufactured in your gut. So you can take all the products that you want. If you're going to eat pizza and cheeseburgers and this and that and all this kind of stuff, you have to have a healthy gut. And the benefits of the xanthohumol help to get your gut healthy. The same with and the benefits, I don't think people can truly comprehend what gains you're making if you combine this product with our Unwind, which actually offers a detox opportunity for our gut with the trace minerals in it and all of the other properties of the Unwind. When you combine these two products together along with one of the healthy nootropic beverages, the benefits are beyond what I can even begin to tell you. But this has digestive benefits and gut health benefits that are astronomical. And I didn't fully understand how bad my gut was. I had tried everything, you guys, to lose weight. I was a member of Weight Watchers. I could lose 15 or 20 pounds, but the minute I even looked at a piece of pizza, the minute I even looked at a bowl of cottage cheese or whatever, I would put that 25 pounds plus about 5 or 10 more pounds back on. The minute I had one dietary indiscretion, it was game back on. I mean, I had tried everything. I had tried, you know, keto, I had tried dietary deprivation, I had tried intermittent fasting, I had tried everything in the past. And I was successful at losing a few pounds. I was successful at, but I was constantly on that yo-yo diet. But every time I'd lose, I'd gain more back. And this is the first thing that I've ever done where I've not only lost a tremendous amount of weight, but I've been able to keep it off and then actually introduce things back into my diet and actually live, where I can go out and I can, vacation and actually eat some great food, have a few adult beverages and not gain that weight back and feel absolutely miserable. So the digestive benefits of xanthohumol are amazing. The other thing that people need to understand, I think people throw this term out there and they don't really understand what it is. And I see a lot of people talking about like, oh, during this pandemic or during this or during that, you need to take vitamins, you take vitamin C. Okay, let's just talk about that for a second, because this particular product has a very, very, very unique liposomal delivery system. What the heck is that? Not a lot of people really understand that. Okay, if you don't have a liposomal delivery system in the product that you're taking, which none of the over-the-counter vitamins or minerals that you're taking have that, if you're buying them from even like GNC or, like some of the top of the line, vitamin and mineral stores, this helps protect nutrients from being destroyed in the stomach. Our stomach acid destroys practically everything that we take in, especially things that you buy over the counter, like, the 500 milligram vitamin C or, the other trace minerals that we get or, whatever. You have to have, because that's not where it's digested. It's not digested in the stomach. So if it breaks down in the stomach and it destroys it in the stomach, you're not getting that in your system. It's absorbed in the small intestine. That's where it's absorbed. So it has to bypass, it has to just stay whole in the stomach and surpass the stomach acid and actually get into the small intestine where then it can break down. And the vitamin C and all of those things that are going to help your immune system, those things are breaking down in your stomach. So The the beautiful thing about this xanthohumol, so let's talk about vitamin C for a minute. There was a recent, and it's called ORAC test, which stands for oxygen radical absorbency capacity. There was a test, and it found xanthohumol to be 4 times more potent than vitamin C. So we have all these people taking vitamin C this time of year to ramp up their immune system and all of that, which I just told you, vitamin C, if you're taking it over the counter, is not even really absorbing into your system, which many people don't know this, but you really need to take iron and vitamin C together in order to absorb it. So many people don't take iron with vitamin C in order to get it in your system. They're just taking the 500 milligrams of vitamin C. And I'm just going to tell you this as a nurse practitioner, you start taking too much vitamin C, you're going to develop kidney stones. Okay. I've seen this so many times, and the ER patients come in, they have kidney stones, and I'm like, what are you doing? Blah, blah, blah. What have you changed recently? They're like, oh, I'm taking a whole bunch of vitamin C because I didn't want to get, influenza this year. I wanted to, ramp up my immunity. I'm like, ding, ding, ding. That's why. But anyway, that's my 2 cents on vitamin C. So why not take a product that's 4 times more potent than vitamin C that can help with your immunity? And that's because of the xanthohumol that's in the product. So, but these over-the-counter vitamins and minerals, they're so packed with fillers. They're so packed with just stuff that's not good for you, garbage. This is a pure, xanthohumol that doesn't have any fillers in it. So that's what I absolutely love about it. And it's just has so many other properties other than just helping with your immunity too. So then we move on to turmeric, and that was just the xanthohumol, right? So, turmeric is a superfood. And oh, by the way, they're really actually talking about listing xanthohumol as a new superfood. But turmeric is a superfood, and it comes from the spice curry. Well, we know from ancient times, curry has been used for, thousands of years. It's one of the most powerful herbs on the planet for fighting multiple ailments. Ancient civilizations used it to fight multiple ailments for everything almost. But it has so many healing properties, and when you combine it with xanthohumol, it just, the synergistic effects, it almost multiplies it. So when you take it by itself, it has so many properties, but when you combine it with the xanthohumol, it just multiplies the effects of it and ramps it up even more. So turmeric, it just boosts your body's energy levels. It has so many properties for joint health, helps with joint pain, that osteoarthritis that we often get from the years of abuse, just being older, things like that. And I noticed that, so I'm just going to speak here personally for 2 seconds. I'm Native American. Something that runs in my family and with a lot of Native Americans is hip dysplasia. My son actually had to undergo surgery for hip dysplasia, and he still has residual pain from undergoing. Oh, I just got a call. Okay. Phone. Anyway, he still has residual pain from undergoing 2 years of reconstructive surgery. And he will not miss a day of taking 2 Xanthamax. Micah is 18, going to be 19 next Friday. And I've never seen a 19-year-old wake up every morning and remember, he can't remember to brush his teeth, but he remembers every day to come up and get his 2 Xanthamax and take those, because that's how much if he does miss it, that's how much his hips hurt every single day. So that's something that he residually takes every single day. It helps with mobility and flexibility. So as we get older, we're not as flexible. We can't reach down and touch our toes or bend down to tie our shoes. So that's something that's very important as we get older. Also helps with the anti-inflammatory properties. Again, reduces turmeric has been shown to reduce the incidence of heart disease. It helps with atherosclerosis, so the hardening of the vessels, the plaque that occurs in the vessels. It's been multiple studies have been shown to reduce that. It helps with your body's own antioxidant activity. So it kind of ramps up your body's ability to help with that oxidative process, helps with fighting depression. So it's been given as an herbal supplement for many, 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 many centuries to help with depression. It's helpful in preventing multiple brain or cognitive diseases such as Alzheimer's. I notice if I forget to take it or I don't take it till later in the day, and I'm like running around going, what was I doing? Or what was I getting in that room? Or what did I went to the store for something. I mean, I don't know if you guys have ever experienced that or not, because I know I have if I don't take my list to the grocery store. But if you've ever found yourself doing those things, it helps to prevent that. It helps to keep you sharp as a tack. It helps to prevent that brain fog that we oftentimes get as we're getting older. Again, helps delay the aging process. And turmeric, there's so many studies out there on helping to prevent cancer and even perhaps aid in the treatment of cancer, especially early on in the formation of cancer tumors. So many different benefits, not just boosting oxytocin, happy hormones. There's so many, and some of these things are very serious. That with the turmeric and the xanthohumol, they help with so many very, very serious, health conditions. So definitely, these two ingredients are even though it's just two, they're very, very powerful ingredients. Again, while it's probably one of our number one selling products in the company. So,
yeah, that's awesome. I love hearing all of that. Saves me a lot of research too when you do that too. Tina, would you like to share any kind of testimonial or experiences that you've personally had or that you know of with the product that would help someone maybe looking at using this?
I will tell you that I have had hormonal issues ever since I was 21. So I'm 41 now. I started into an early menopause about 2 years ago, and this is probably the best I've ever felt in my entire life. So I don't know. I do the dose, and like I said, it really helps with everything. I don't know if it's just evened everything out or what it is, but I love it. It helps immensely with inflammation, like you were going on about osteoporosis as well. My mom and my grandma both have horrible back conditions. I have spina bifida myself, so it kind of worries me and makes me think, man, I maybe need to double up a little bit more on my Zyncamax and stuff, because I'll do one or two, but I don't think of the third. But hey, why not? Like it helps with my inflammation so much, and like I said, even the hormones and everything, feeling better. So, but I agree with you. I'm glad that you did the research because I wrote all kinds of little notes down.
Yeah, I look up stuff, but it's always great to hear other perspectives of it too. And,
Yeah.
I've just turned 50 and I I don't know if it's because of this, but I have zero like menopausal symptoms or I don't even know what that is. So I'm like hopeful that because I've been taking this for 3 years that maybe I won't experience the hot flashes and all those things that I've heard.
Yeah, you were right on that. And that's another thing. At 21, I went to my doctor and I was like, listen, I am going through an early menopause or something. I would have hot flashes. I would have like just horrible moods, all kinds of stuff. So I've been dealing with this for 20 some years. No help from doctors. I started on an organic, holistic path because they weren't helping me. So here I am.
Yeah.
And I don't have any hot flashes whatsoever. Everyone complains about menopause. I'm like, damn, this is the best I've felt in years.
Yeah.
Bring it on.
Yeah. I'm with you.
I completely agree.
Yeah. The other thing that I noticed too is, and maybe it's because of the oxytocin part of it, is like I'm much more calmer these days. Like before I started using dose, like things would irritate me a lot more. And I'm much more tolerant of things and much calmer than I ever was. I wish I had had this when my kids were toddlers when you're like, but I absolutely love it. You know, I do take 2 every day. There are some days that I've taken a third at night just because, like, I feel like it does do more with the relaxation and combining that with unwind. Like, I
Mhm.
just can't go without unwind because one night this week we had went out of town and I left the unwind in the horse trailer. And like I woke up in the night, like you feel like a little raciness and a little anxiousness. And I had had a dream of something and I was just like, I couldn't rest well. And I was like, I will not do that again. I was like, I cannot go without. So I've ordered extra. So I have one here, one in the horse trailer, wherever, because I absolutely love the way that I feel using that, and combined with this, it's just like the ticket for sure.
Mhm.
Does
Absolutely.
anybody else on here have anything that you'd like to share before we jump off?
Or questions or anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm interested in more of the gut health as well. Um, like I said, I have spina bifida, but I do not have all of my intestines either. And I know that I have to watch certain foods with like our dose and everything. I'm normally good. Sometimes it does irritate my stomach. So I just kind of back up the amount that I'm taking and I'm okay with it. But I'm definitely interested in learning a little bit more about all that. So keep us posted on that,
I
Andrea.
will. I will. And I mean, I'm happy to do, because what I've learned about this product, a lot of people think this is liposuction in a can. It's not. I wish it was. But what the beautiful thing about these product combinations is that it's helped curb. I was a sugaraholic and I was a food addict, and I used food to cope with so many devastating things that were happening in my life. And that's why I got super heavy, because I wasn't always heavy. And so I used food as a coping mechanism. That was my drug of choice, was food. And some people turn to alcohol, some people turn to drugs, some people turn to other things, and I turned to food. And so these products help to curb my sugar addiction. They help to curb my appetite. And so through these products, I learned to not eat like I was eating, and I learned to manage what I was putting in here,
Mhm.
and learn to eat sensibly. So I'm happy to do that and like share things like that and share better gut health. I've done 30-day challenges. I've done whatever. I'm happy if this group wants to do that. I'm happy to do that. I'm happy to share that on Wednesdays as well as a part of our product knowledge. Whatever you guys would like to do, I'm happy to do that too. So yeah, just ask for it and I'm happy to do that. Or if we want to start a whole separate day for those kind of things too, whatever you guys want, because that is truly a key. And that only amplifies these products even more. So yeah, I've met my weight loss goal and now I'm just putting on lean muscle mass, which I love. Some of these new products for doing that, because I used to list my allergies as bowel prep products because I was terrified of bowel prep products, and the gym and working out because I hated to work out because I had no energy. Yeah, and now I love working out. Like on vacation, I brought my workout stuff with me because I love to go work out now because I have so much energy to do that. And it even ramps up my endorphins so much more when I work out. And people are like, oh, you lost weight working out. Actually, I didn't, because when I first was losing weight, I didn't go to the gym. I just did it with these products and eating sensibly. But now that I have lost the weight, I'm kind of a gym addict now because I just feel so incredible. And I'm wanting to put on lean muscle mass, but now that I'm going all the time, and I see that a lot with the people that I work with, is right away they're not always exercising. I didn't. I went on a walk occasionally because I had no energy when I first was starting. But as my energy started to increase, I'm like, oh, I'll try to go to the gym. But now I go all the time. So yeah, I would love to do whatever you guys want. I want you guys to be so successful, and but gut health is key here, you guys. Gut health is key.
I think Kelly has something too. She
Oh,
wants.
Yeah, absolutely.
hi everybody.
Hey, Kelly.
I wanted to add also about the exercise too. You don't have to jump in and start going crazy with the exercise. I wasn't able to in the beginning. And then after a while, I started walking, and then walking longer and longer and doing some other things at home. And now I'm back to jogging after a 5-year hiatus because of physical things. And so that's kind of important to me too. I wanted to add to that. And then the
I've seen your
digestion.
posts where you're doing hikes and
Ah,
stuff. I'm like, you go, Kelly.
I know, it's so
awesome.
fun. It's so fun. And then the digestion too is amazing, amazing, amazing. And the focus, and I could go on and on and on, but Andrea does such a great job with describing it all. And but that's what I wanted to add. We have a lot going on here in the house. My daughter's here. We got a puppy. My husband's doing construction. So I just wanted to add that.
Thank you.
That's
Mary Ann, did you have something also? I see you unmuted.
Sure. I just wanted to add that I've noticed after listening to Christina's dissertation, I've noticed how little joint pain I have. And the other amazing benefit that I have personally been able to have is the mood elevation. I've always been kind of a PMS gal, even in my 20s. And so I had found some herbs that helped me control that. But boy, this Xanthomax if I don't take it every morning, I start to get real scratchy, and I can feel that it's time to take my Xanthomax. And thank you, Christina, for telling us that we can take 2 for the inflammation, because I am starting with a little bit of arthritis at 72. So thank you, Christine. I appreciate all these. It's good information. Thanks for doing the research for us, because I'm a research girl too.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Christina, do you have any input? I know you're saying gut, but do you have anything on like microbial colitis? Do you think the products are going to go with that?
Yeah. Well, Andrea, you're talking to me, right, Andrea?
Yes, Andrea.
Okay.
Sorry.
No, that's okay. I just want to make
Yeah,
sure.
Christine did one before. Yeah.
did.
No, that's okay. That's okay.
Sorry, Andrea.
Yeah. So colitis. So like I said, we can't make medical claims, but any type of colitis is set up from an inflammatory response in the body. So any type of GI issues is set up from an inflammatory response. So anytime you can use a product that is a very, very, very powerful anti-inflammatory, it's going to help with that.
Okay.
Can't make medical claims, but just putting point A with point B, and you can reduce the inflammation in your body. The deduction is it should help.
Possibly.
So
okay, maybe I'll start taking more
hypothetically
Xanthomax
speaking,
and see if that'll help.
I can't say yes. But
Okay.
yeah, in theory,
Thank you.
yeah, of course.
Yeah, and even though, we do take Xanthomax as dose, I mean, I do know people who don't drink the beverage, who just use the supplement. And, Andrea mentioned the Black Friday special that we have going on. It starts today at 3:00 Central, where you can buy one, get one free. So that's a great way for you to be able to double up and not cost you any extra. It is not something you can put on SmartShip that way, but it would be a great way for you to try doing the double for a little while to see, because I don't know about you, but even when it is at regular cost, the things that we're talking about, we definitely want to prevent any of those things at all cost. And so it's also a great time to be able to maybe let a spouse try the Xanthomax, or someone else in your family maybe that's not using the products. So it's a great time to check that out and get some extra on hand. And like Andrea said, just being able to, double up on immunity and things like that this time of year. I know that's one of the things we did when we weren't feeling well too, is we just added even more. So Andrea, I really appreciate your time today. I know that you're on
Yeah.
vacation in the
That's
Dominican. So for
okay.
you
That's
to
okay.
go in early last night and do some more prep work for this, I really appreciate that on your vacation. And I
No
hope you and
worries.
Amy
It's my pleasure.
have
I
a
just
great.
wanted to add, this is what I'm going to do for Christmas for all of my family that aren't currently ordering, because I want them to be healthy this holiday season, especially as we're around each other. I know that there are states that are saying do Zoom Thanksgivings and Zoom Christmases, and I don't want to get political or anything like that, but I always tie little things, like I go to Bath and Body and get those little hand sanitizers. And I usually tie things like that on instead of like a bow or whatever for Christmas. I'm going to buy a bunch of bottles of Xanthamax and use those as my bows for my Christmas gifts this year, and just tie those on my packages, because I want to give the gift of health for Christmas this year. Better gift can you give your loved ones for Christmas? So I just thought I would share that idea in case
a great
anybody's
idea.
interested. So I like to tie little things on my packages and make them look cute and creative. And I thought I would just order up a bunch of Xanthamax on our buy one, get one free, because they're going to be super cheap if you figure out what each bottle is going to cost when you're getting one free. What a great gift to give for the holiday season, right?
Yep, that's awesome. Great idea. And I'll share this Zoom on Andrea. She can share it on her page, so it's public, and you guys could share it if you want to there. And then I'll also put it inside our team page and customer page for everybody to see. So if you could go tag your customers or people that are interested in Xanthamax, then they can take the time today to look at this, and then they'll have from today to the end of the month to be able to take advantage of that promotion. So thank you all for sharing, for being here. Marianne, Tina, Kelly, thank you also for sharing, had some input on this. So I hope you guys have an amazing Thanksgiving and stay safe. Thank y'all.
Hi, everybody.
Thank you,
Thank
Lori. Happy
you.
Thanksgiving. Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you, Andrea. Appreciate
You're
you.
Bye,
welcome.
guys.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.